What's going on, people? Welcome to United View. Welcome to a show, do you know what, that we didn't expect to have to do today. Welcome to seeing you guys a lot more earlier in the day / evening than we would have anticipated. We were going to go live today at 6 p.m. But needs must. That's the good thing about being at HQ. We can get things done imminently, but we've done the morning show. As soon as we finish the morning show, a lot of interesting stuff coming out about Cristiano Ronaldo. Ronaldo is for sale. The club are open to listening to offers for Cristiano Ronaldo. So smash the like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Owen, no messing about. Let's just get straight into what's been happening here, man.
Yeah, so quite actual bombshell reporting, must be said, from Simon Stone this morning. Obviously, major football correspondent, Manchester United correspondent for BBC Sport. Really credible, top-tier source is reporting that Manchester United could let Cristiano Ronaldo leave Old Trafford during the current summer transfer window amid concerns about how the striker's mood is affecting morale in the camp. Senior figures at Manchester United have been particularly alarmed at how quickly the overwhelmingly positive feelings around the camp generated during a successful pre-season tour to Thailand and Australia have now disappeared. Manchester United, this is real, the key language here that's been used is very strong. Manchester United feel there will be no change to United's current issues until Ronaldo has gone. There is a belief amongst some that even if he left and there was no replacement, the general uplift would trigger a significant improvement in overall performances. Flex. Again, that language being used there is really, really strong. Basically saying that despite the public stance throughout the entirety of the summer, he's not for sale, that stance is now shifting. And essentially, I don't like to use the word scapegoat, but there feels a lot of blame game going on right now. Basically saying, look, we feel like we'd be playing a little bit better if Cristiano Ronaldo's negative attitude wasn't around the camp at Carrington. What are your immediate thoughts to all of that?
This really annoys me now because, again, Owen, right? What's happening is you can't. At Man United, you can never just focus on like the one issue and tackle that. They always have to cross-pollinate, which makes one side that maybe did have some leverage before, maybe now this side doesn't have leverage. And what I mean by that is this cross-pollinates everything, because before, the discussions at the beginning was Ronaldo said he wants to leave, so us as fans just debate whether that's good or bad for us. You know, before the window opened, I said, I think we should keep him. It changed when Ronaldo said, I want to leave. Well, I know he never physically said those words, but we could tell by everything going on and what's going on, he wanted to leave. Then the other day, that plays out through the summer. He doesn't go on tour. We get back. Okay, cool. It rumbles on. Then you get the leaving early thing. That goes under the carpet. Cool. Then the other day, I remember saying, well, you know what? One thing you can give credit for is the club and Erik ten Hag have had the same outlook on this the whole time. From minute one, Ronaldo's not for sale. He's in Erik's plans. Ten Hag's looking forward to working with him.
Expects goals.
Let's just go with those four, yeah? So, in 1 minute, and this is what I mean about the cross-pollination, I'm saying that the club have stayed unanimous on where they stand, i.e., I tell you what, we can't afford to lose him because how are we going to replace him with? Otherwise, they would have just said, they wouldn't have gone that strong on that for that long and that consistent. Even when the thing happened with Ronaldo and the players going home, they done a lot. Ten Hag especially did a lot to make sure that wasn't just aimed at Ronaldo. He wasn't just made a scapegoat. Whether you think it was right for him to leave during the matchday squad or not, the general blanket so that they could take it away from Ronaldo was all of the players shouldn't left. Even that was a deflection tactic to say, leave him alone. Stop making him the scapegoat. He's our player. He's staying. What I don't like about this now, and then all the people that have said, you know, Ten Hag wants him. You know, even the biggest Ronaldo fans, it's fine. Leave him alone. He's the one who's got standards. I love him. He has to stay. You know, those people were saying, well, you know what? The manager wants him. That's all that matters. You know, now the cross-pollination comes for them of like, well, now the club is saying that they don't want him. Where does Ten Hag sit in this? Is this the club saying, it's just not working anymore? Like, did you not know this was going to happen? He didn't want to be here from before. What's changed? Why has that changed? Because we've lost a couple of games. They're thinking we probably can't get out of this rut without Ronaldo. And look, again, back to the cross-pollination. Sorry if I'm going on a bit here. But again, back to the cross-pollination is like, now we can't even get to the bit of thinking, well, in the long term, is it good to rebuild without Ronaldo? Well, he's a short-term fix. So you could argue that, yes, different type of profile of player. They come in, they had time to work with Ten Hag, but this should have been done earlier. Now we're 2 weeks before the window shuts, and you've told us that he's not going anywhere. He's going to stay. He's in Erik Ten Hag's plan. So actually, all the noise of whether you think Ronaldo should go or not, leave it, park it. But now, again, the cross-pollination comes in, and the mixed messages comes in, and the panic, and also the direct blame game. And I'm with you, Owen. I haven't been Ronaldo's biggest fan in terms of the way he's handled himself through this saga. And I was openly saying, I think as soon as he said, I want to leave, let's get him out of the football club. Let's work out the quickest route for Ronaldo to leave so that this doesn't happen. So that this does not happen. Where, forget the results, even if we'd won them last 2 games and Ronaldo wanted to go, that would then be a dampener. Ronaldo can bring a dampener just because of the sheer presence and the stature of the man of who he is. And now we find ourselves not working out the situation prior to this, and now we're in shit streak 2 weeks before. And so, I tell you something, I know Simon Stone is a fantastic journalist, a credible journalist, and yes, you can say he might be slow to the party about stuff, but what Simon Stone don't speak about stuff that he doesn't know. And for Simon Stone to write that, when I read it, like you said, the terminology here, when it says senior figures have been alarmed at how quickly and overwhelmingly positive feelings around the camp generated during a successful preseason tour to Thailand and Australia have disappeared. That's massive for Simon Stone to be told that. And Simon Stone doesn't go on the BBC and write that if he hasn't been told that by people in the club. What's going on? I'm done.
I'm with you. I think that we've got to a situation now, clearly, where arguably Ronaldo might look at this news and this development and think, good, finally, they'll let me go. We've got to a point now, I guess, where the move's good for all parties. But as I've said before, and I'm doubling down on this now, I am super, super, super uncomfortable with some of these players that have not achieved anything of substance throughout their careers, shifting the blame on their poor performances to the attitude of Cristiano Ronaldo. Irrespective of whether Cristiano Ronaldo's attitude is good or not, the idea of selfishly going, I tell you what, I think we'd be playing better if Ronaldo's attitude wasn't around, if Ronaldo wasn't so negative. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? The nerve. If I was a Manchester United player, I'd have to have a real strong look at myself if I'm saying I'm not playing very well because arguably the greatest player to ever kick a ball is a little bit negative because he's not happy that we're not winning stuff or we're rubbish. That's his fault. That is madness. And I understand, right? If you're in a negative situation, things aren't going well, the last thing you need is someone being negative, telling you all the time how bad things are. I get that. People aren't dumb to that. But the idea of shifting the blame, moving the blame onto somewhat of the quality and the credibility of Cristiano Ronaldo, saying, we'd do better if you weren't so negative, is an effing joke. That is crazy. That is crazy logic. And the idea, like you said, the terminology was so strong. The fact that there'll be no change to United's current issues until Ronaldo's gone. No, there won't be any change to United's current issues until the Glazers are gone. It's not Cristiano Ronaldo. Cristiano Ronaldo, again, his mentality and attitude towards the failings of Manchester United are purely self-centered. He wants to win things for himself, not for the club. That's fine. That is totally fine. I understand. Again, his issues are completely justified. But for the players to have the nerve, if this is accurate, and the club to have the nerve to say, it's kind of on Ronaldo because he's been a bit negative right now. The nerve of saying, oh, actually, things are really positive at pre-season, and who was the only person that wasn't on pre-season? Well, it's Ronaldo. What kind of mad maths is that? Oh, it's Ronaldo. Ronaldo wasn't here, so that's the problem. No, it isn't. The issue is that it's pre-season, and pre-season means nothing when it comes to an actual Premier League season. The issue is, in pre-season, there was no pressure, and like you've seen for the last decade, when the pressure is on, when the time gets tough, this group of players, this club, crumbles. It's not got anything to do with Cristiano Ronaldo. Again, the positive from his mindset will be now, actually, I want to leave anyway. So if they're opening the door saying they'll rip up my contract, good. I can get a move. I can go elsewhere. But these players will have to really take a long, hard look at themselves when he leaves and things don't get better. Because Cristiano Ronaldo leaving, because they won't. That's the point. Yeah. Cristiano Ronaldo will leave, and then we'll lose another game. What then? Who else are you then going to say it's problem? Oh, they're negative. Because the next thing it will be is the manager, and that's the concern. And I'm not saying that, again, I know Ten Hag might have come to this conclusion. I don't know, again, if you believe reports. But it's always the blame game. That's what I mean. It's always the blame game. It's never themselves. It's always Ronaldo, the manager, Ralph Rangnick, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Mourinho. It's always someone else's fault. And this is my point. Where is the accountability in all of this? And Ronaldo is no saint. And that's the point.
That's what I mean about the cross-pollination, exactly. What makes it annoying.
I've been frustrated this entire summer, like you, of him offering himself out to all of these clubs, showing up to Carrington with his agent. And to your point, the frustrating thing about all of this now is that we thought everyone was aligned on this situation, but clearly they're not. And clearly, already, 2 games in, the blame game has started. And even to the point, it's been put in there, we might not even get a replacement.
Yeah, we'll just be better off with him not even
We will not be better off without a replacement. We saw it against Brighton. We were not better off. Anthony Martial will get injured again. What do we do then? That will still be Ronaldo's fault somehow, ironically. He shouldn't have left us in the lurch. No, you should have sold him earlier on. It's just bad management. It's bad transfer strategy. It's just bad. Overall, it's just bad. And there is no accountability. And it's beyond frustrating. Beyond frustrating.
I think what this does is just completely, again, and this is why I'm so frustrated doing this. Like, every time the reset button needs to be pressed and we need to show something different, we press a button that makes us do exactly the same thing. Like the lack of planning and the lack of handling of this situation. We all said it. Even if you wanted Ronaldo to go or stay, okay, it looks like he wants to leave fairly early. Like, it was just before we went on tour, it all started happening. And we were like, tell you what, that's going to rumble on. That's going to become a problem. Find a solution to that.
There was an elephant in the room.
There was an elephant in the room. If your solution is he's staying, then make it just be that. Stay on that. Make a decision and stand by it. But no. What happens is that, halfway through that decision to say he's not for sale and all that stuff and he's part of our plans, it looks like we're now going, yeah, let's change strategy. Again, it just sums up Manchester. Honestly, it is the antithesis of Manchester United. This one little problem here, which there's loads of things. And then, again, we can live in a world where both things can be true, right? In terms of, actually, the players that are saying I'll play better than if he's not here, being mean to me, like, grow a pair. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Professional footballers.
That's true. But then on the other side of it, which, again, we can't even think that far down the line because we're so annoyed with what's going on here that the argument of, like, what should have come at the beginning of the window and looking at the rebuild of when Ten Hag arrives here, of what should have gone on is, what does it look like without Ronaldo if we want to kick this squad forward, though? It was a bad season last year. He's not going to be in the best of moods because we're not competing at a high level. It was a drastic deterioration last season. Does the new manager want this type of player to move forward? Well, we was all told yes.
Yeah.
He said it.
Yeah.
And that's do you know what? I literally just said this morning, didn't I? Before we finished the live show this morning, I said we can pick and choose what we take from Erik Ten Hag in the press conferences, or any manager. I'm not labeling it at here. I'm saying any manager, because what they say in the media is one thing about tactics and stuff like that and player selections, but when it's about, like, players' futures and, like, transfer strategy and having to talk about the people that the manager's working with, that's a different story. Because, like we said, we were saying, you can take his word for it that he's saying he wants Ronaldo. The club is saying that, and then now that shit's all over that. That literally shits on what we've been told. And that's the thing. That disconnect between what we get told, between what we read, between the understanding that we have, it just keeps changing. It just keeps moving. And you can't rebuild a football club away from the Glazers, just, you know what I mean? Because that's, like you said, that's the overall thing. But even if you're going to keep the Glazers there, you can't even begin to unpick this by just bringing a new manager here. You can't begin to just unpick this by saying you're going to do something and then instantaneously doing something else, constantly doing that.
And they're also, when it says they're concerned about how the striker's mood is affecting morale in the camp, I tell you what's affecting morale is losing.
Exactly.
Losing.
Getting spanked by Brentford is
affecting
the morale.
And not getting signings in which you need, not bringing in top quality players, not competing. That's what's affecting mood. Affecting mood is going 4-0 down against Brentford in 35 minutes. That affects mood. Cristiano Ronaldo flails his arms around because we're shit. Yeah. Sorry, but we are. You know what I mean? That's ultimately why. And again, this isn't a show to jump on here and be a Ronaldo defender, because again, we said it when it first came out. If he wants to go, let him go. You know, heaven forbid, you know, stick to your principles or make a decision and stick to it. But the constant flip-flop of, no, we're going to keep him. And then they realize, actually, maybe we shouldn't keep him because he's unhappy and it's affecting other players. But even as a club, if you said we're going to keep him and some players come up to you and say, oh, he's been a bit moody, he's affecting my morale. You go, well, sorry, the club's keeping him. Deal with it. You know? Actually, you know, don't cave. It's always caving in.
Is this player power again?
I don't know, Flex. And it's constant frustration because, as we've said, we thought there might be some element of change, but there hasn't been. There is no change. It's exactly the same. If anything, it's worse. And they're blaming it being worse on like a 5-time Ballon d'Or winner because he's upset because things aren't very good and he wants to leave.
But again, what it does do, and that's what I mean about the cross-pollination, it takes the conversation away from genuine reasons why you might want to kick the squad on without Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Like,
do
you know what I mean? Like actual footballing reasons.
Yeah.
Because for the other side of it...
If it was a tactical decision and Erik ten Hag said he can't press and Ronaldo said, sorry, I can't do the pressing.
You were talking about it.
If he said, and there was reported, again, whether you believe it or not, that Ronaldo was pushing back on it, specifically Ten Hag's pressing from the front, basically implying, look, I'm 37 years of age, I can't do that. I had to pick and choose my moments in matches a long time ago. I can't press from the front. And you know what? If he said, and I also want to leave, and Ten Hag said, actually, we're going to be doing a rebuild. You say you can't do it. I don't think you can do it. Let's go our separate ways. And that would make sense. But the commerciality, if that's a word, got into it for Manchester United, and we really need to keep him. You know, he makes a lot of money for the club. And it's just got messy now. It's got muddy. And that's the frustrating thing again. And now it's not even really based on tactics. It's based on hearsay, and it's based on moaning, and it's based on whinging, you know? And it's not even, is it a bold move by Ten Hag tactically, or is it a move from the club and the players? Because they're upset about it as well. And like you said, the real actual reasons tactically, the rebuild element has almost been taken out of it.
You can't, and now already in this video, because we're reacting to this news, it already feels like you can't even really speak about that part of it.
Yeah.
Because like
it's become more than that.
It's become more than that. Like again, I call things fairly. Like I will always stand by my opinions, and if I get proved wrong or if I see things unfold,
and we have
100%, I am in a lot of things. I am never ever afraid to relook at something in what it is now versus what it was, and realign my thinking and feelings on it. And I just feel that I have been one of the biggest... no, that's a bit extra. I haven't been one of the biggest voices saying that. My opinion was that I wanted Ronaldo to leave. This is my timeline. I thought Ronaldo should stay. Like from the bat, when we knew Erik ten Hag was coming, what did we need for next season? Yeah. I think Ronaldo needs to stay and De Gea needs to stay. Because they're the only two things we got. I was saying that. And I was saying that right up until pre-season tour. Then it was, obviously, he was away with the family situation, but we knew he was offering himself out and he wants to leave. When I heard that, okay, cool. Ronaldo, and actually, really, I'm being proved right in the end because, like you say, let's not forget that Ronaldo in this has always wanted to leave.
Yeah, it's now
so if we know Ronaldo, which we're fans, you guys know him in there, he was never going to improve his mood. He was never going to become happier. He was never going to start going away to the away section, the away fans, and doing that after everything and saying sorry. He's never done that. So why have we stuck with this and then expected a different outcome from Ronaldo? Then blame him. That I think is wrong. Yeah. That is on us when we should have said, and I'm not saying loads of people said it, not just me. I'm not taking the credit. I'm saying collectively as people who thought at the time because it was split. People say no, even though he doesn't want to be here, still keep him. But the people that thought let him go right now, let's find out a way. When we had to shut up. When the club was like, no, he's still part of the plans. I was told that. Other journalists were told that. The world was told that in the press conferences. We all had to shut up. We all had to say, well, the manager's made his decision. Because again, the cross-pollination, we've all said we're going to back Ten Hag and back the manager in his decisions. First thing he comes in, Maguire's still captain. Back the manager.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? First thing he does, keep playing McTominay and Fred. Got to back the manager. Keep saying that he wants to keep Ronaldo, even though Ronaldo's almost all but not publicly said he wants to leave, but we know he does. Wants to keep him. Club is saying it. Got to back the manager. Feature it. We've all been proved right for the people who thought that. You know? I don't know. There's just not what... The thing that annoys me is there's not just one thing we can talk about as fans, agree or disagree on, and move on. We now get brought back there where if you thought Ronaldo should have stayed, you had a time when you said, see, manager wants him. Now you can't have that opinion anymore.
Yeah.
There's a time where it's like, Ronaldo should go. Well, manager said he wants him. Got to fall back. Can't really have that opinion anymore. Then you're back to, actually, they don't want him. We can never just have one unanimous situation and it just get dealt with quickly. Look at the Mo Salah situation at Liverpool.
Yeah.
You know, don't get me wrong. It rumbled on a little bit because it was during the season. It's end of the season, boom, he stays. Mane, don't really. I'll talk about my future after this game. Bang, gone to Bayern Munich. It's sorted. Darwin Núñez in instead. Like, why us? Like, there's so many other examples of all these other clubs that just run shit properly. And only Man United can make a saga from within. We've got a Frankie de Jong saga going on. Will he, won't he? Will he sign? Then we create another one from within.
And I don't have an issue, again, I don't have an issue with Cristiano Ronaldo leaving because he wants to leave. I don't have an issue with Cristiano Ronaldo leaving because Erik ten Hag says he can't fit my system, I'm doing a rebuild. I have an issue with Cristiano Ronaldo leaving because the players have said, we started terribly, that's Ronaldo's fault. That is bullshit, basically. Now, at the time of recording this as well, Fabrizio Romano's just tweeted. He said, Cristiano Ronaldo situation. George Mendes is still working to find a solution. Potential last-minute transfer as 1 year ago. Cristiano's priority has always been to leave Manchester United this summer. Man United insist he's not for sale. George Mendes keeps exploring options. So, to be honest, not really much more there. The Simon Stone article is certainly more in-depth about all that kind of stuff. But as things stand right now, Flex, what do you think the conclusion is to this saga that you just spoke about? Is the conclusion that he goes? Because now it feels more inevitable than ever. Unless we have a situation like we had at the weekend where Sky came out and said United are unhappy with the attitude. They're considering terminating the contract. Then Man United essentially came out 30 minutes later or an hour later going, no, that's not true. He's not for sale. Would you be surprised if later today we hear the same thing? No, he's not for sale.
Me personally, you can never be.
There's a lot of people saying the same thing at this point.
Owen, with this football club, nothing surprises me. No, I'm being serious. Like, anything can happen, right? But I will be very surprised if Man United, if someone like Simon Stone, it's the Simon Stone thing that's got me.
Yeah.
Like that, Simon Stone, what Simon Stone is good at doing is checking his facts and stuff, not jumping on things. And he usually just doesn't as per. I can confirm that.
He doesn't really do scoops.
His aren't scoops, exclusives, transfer rumours, commenting on this and that. He just comes with the cold, hard facts. That's it. And he's such an important journalist at like BBC and stuff like that. When he writes articles, they're going to get a lot of attention. They need to be factual.
Yeah.
They need to be factual. And for Simon Stone to attach a well-credible journalist to attach his name right at the top there by Simon Stone 42 minutes ago at the time of recording this, for him to attach a statement that says sources have told BBC Sport, he can't lie.
No.
Like, he's too... I know journalists do lie and
this
stuff.
This isn't an in the know Twitter account, basically.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah, it's not some random Twitter account, he just wants to grow and send all your things in here and I'll help you grow, I'll retweet you. It's not that. This is proper journalism. Old school, was there from Sir Alex days. Like, this is proper. Like, I know that we can't believe everything journalists write. There's a lot of hearsay. But let's not act like Simon Stone is not very, very well connected with Manchester United, right? And if he's saying sources have told BBC that they fear there will be no change in current issues until he's gone, till Ronaldo's gone, and there's a belief that even if the forward left and there was no replacement, the general uplift would trigger a significant improvement in overall. That all there isn't quote marks there. It almost sounds like a quote.
Yeah, but it's just, and even that, like the idea that you could say, well, sell Ronaldo, even if we don't get a striker, which is basically also again sort of bracing the idea of we'll probably could sell him and we won't get anyone in. You know, if we sell Ronaldo, we're not getting anyone in. If we keep Ronaldo, we're not getting anyone in. We're not getting a striker in. Basically, is what that is saying, right? If you read between the lines enough, and it's saying also, yeah, if we don't get a striker in, but we'll still be better anyway, which is wild because we played a game without a striker and it wasn't better. It wasn't better. Ronaldo came on, we played better. So what are we going to do? Then Eriksen up front, false nine for half the season. It is just beyond baffling. And again, the blame game continues. The blame game, the finger pointing, it's your fault, it's your fault. What about him? What about him? What about us? What about the club? What about some, accountability?
And I just think,
Zero.
Owen, so when I said it on the Sunday show the other day, didn't I? And like at the game when I was having the word with some people, and I was told judge us by the end of the window, and it's like you're making that really hard for me to do.
But and also as well, we will. I said the same thing about Manchester United earlier on in the transfer window before it opened. Judge United at the end of the window, and I will still do that. And the judgment already is very damning.
Judgment's been made.
But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the judgment can get worse. That's my
point.
point.
Yeah.
That's my point.
Yeah,
we can judge them now, and it's been a bad window. You give it 2.5 weeks, it can absolutely get worse.
Also, when you said, because I didn't really answer your question, to be fair, when you said, how do I think it'll play out?
Yeah.
Adam Crafton from The Athletic has said, as it stands, Man United still have no serious interest for Ronaldo. So the way out is complicated. Let's not forget that too.
Yeah, I think that is part of it. Again, I think Ronaldo's camp would probably feel, again, if you're saying that you'll be better without us, terminate the contract. Yeah. Because let's face it, if Ronaldo's a free agent, he will go somewhere.
Yeah, he'll get somewhere.
He'll go somewhere. It's the complications of possibly a club, finding a transfer fee and all that kind of stuff. Basically, if Ronaldo is a free agent, he'll find somewhere. He'll figure that out. They'll be able to figure that out.
Why is that line coming in from Romano still, though? He said George Mendes still working to find a solution, potential last-minute transfer as 1 year ago. Cristiano's priority has always been to leave Man United this summer. Man United insist he's not for sale. Now, I don't know whether that's Romano getting the latest of that or he's just going off the last thing they ever said.
I believe
I would hope it's that.
The last public declaration was he's not for sale. But also, look, Ten Hag will have a press conference on Friday. It'll be interesting to see what happens between now and then. But he'll get asked.
Simon Stone?
Yeah.
No, Simon Peach?
Yeah.
You better pull that Ronaldo question out of the bag again, bro, because I tell you now, you lot need to. That's going to be a bomb. Well, unless they say anything before it. What day is it today? It's Tuesday. So a lot can happen in a few days. But in transfer terms and how stories come and go. But if it's the first time that you get to talk to the manager after hearing this, Simon Stone himself, who wrote this article,
he'll get asked.
Because he'll be like, well, I was told this, mate, so I'm going to ask you directly.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Well, they'll
Ronaldo?
use his words against him as well. They'll say, last time we were sat in here with you, you said that Ronaldo had never told you that he wanted to leave. Has that changed, or has the club's position on that changed?
Simon Stone, if you're looking for a question, Owen's just giving you your question.
That's the one.
That is the question. Also, just a bit off topic, but Mark Vawai, your old friend, has come to the forefront today and said Anthony himself would think twice before deciding to join Manchester United now, especially when you see with how much joy he plays at Ajax. The Manchester United Anthony saga seems over. Just to add that.
I think a lot of players that might have been previously considering a move to Manchester United are reconsidering or glad that they didn't go through with it after the first 2 games. And then you're seeing these reports now, they'll be like, "Oh, I dodged a bullet." And I'll wait and see how that one plays out. Even those people that had those connections with Erik ten Hag will probably say, well, I'll see where he's going to be in 6 months' time. I'll see where this squad is in a year's time, and then maybe I'll consider. Because why would you go into that volatile environment at this point? If they're turning on Ronaldo, in terms of the players, they'll turn on you.
Yeah. There you have it, guys. An absolute mess. An absolute mess. And this isn't even about bringing anyone in.
No.
Like when we was all being told like it's the same, we won't bring any players in. A lot of us didn't even get to this of like, what about the Ronaldo thing? I bet they drag that out and mess it up and make it, a bad situation. Having said that, we wait for further developments on this and see what happens.
Yeah.
I don't care what happens from here. It's clearly a mess.
Yeah.
Whether he stays or he goes. And now if he stays after this, it's like, I just don't see how it gets better from here with Ronaldo. I think he's got to go. Even him reading that, if his agent was and I know, man, they haven't covered themselves in glory, like you said. They're turning up to Carrington with his agent, and they're trying to get talks. They're trying to get him out of the football club. That's fine. Like Fabrizio Romano has said, that's always been the priority to leave.
Yeah.
So those things haven't stopped. They've just been stopped being reported for a little bit. Now it's come. So that's fine. But in terms of, now they've probably seen, I'm not saying they're going to take Simon Stone's word for it, but for Simon Stone to get that, Ronaldo and his camp must know that.
Yeah.
Very, very telling stuff. Very indicative of where we are as a football club. And you know what? All this going into an imminent trouncing off Liverpool. It just, I can't believe.
I forgot about that.
I can't believe that I've never felt this low. I've never felt this low, and I've spoke to quite a few older fans who were there when we got relegated.
Yeah.
And they speak about that team and said it had fight to the last day. It really did, way more than this team. So in my life, I can only speak in my lifetime. I've never felt this low as a Man United fan ever.
Yeah.
Even in the times where it's bad and football's cyclical and you can be patient. It's not our time. We've got to rebuild, but we'll get there. There's that kind of thing of, listen, man, I had the whole 90s and the whole millennials kind of thing, man. I can accept that. We've got to go again. We've got to find a way. I'll be behind the boys. We're trying all we can do. It's not that.
Well, also, look, Liverpool waited 30 years to win another league title. It's what is it? It's nearly a decade.
Another 20 to go.
Something like that.
Yeah, another 20 to go. Anyway, smash a like on the video, subscribe if you're new. More importantly, drop your thoughts and comments on this. How are you seeing this? How do Manchester United move on from this Cristiano Ronaldo saga debacle? How do you want them to move on? What do you want the end goal to be? If you could choose what would happen now from this point on, let us know in the comments and get involved. We are out of here, guys. Peace.